All right, welcome to Mike and the Minifans post show. It's also a bit of a network chat. I'm joined, of course, by my assistant, Joe the Axe Sanders. Joe, firstly, did you enjoy Mike and the Minifans?
Yeah, I thought the show was great. It was good to see everybody on there, and I think it was a good group.
Yeah, I think it was a good group too, and I think it was a bit of a slow start. And like, I think the shows will get better. Like, Coach was a bit
Oh yeah,
slow out of the gate. Nipples is a bit shy, but they warmed up. And I think the more people do them, the better they'll get. So, yeah, I think it's doing really well, and it'll just get better.
absolutely. No, absolutely. It's been getting better every time, so I have no doubt that it's just going to continue to improve, and more and more people are going to be listening, and we're going to have great guests. So
Yeah, I think if I think BA is doing a better job hosting than than VD. But I think if VD wants to keep hosting, he's got to come into the Mike and the Minifans chat and just be given a panel and host with them, because he tried to do his own panel and it didn't work, and then he got stuck with Montante and Little People Big World guy.
right, I mean that's going to have we have a really good list of panelists. Most people are in the chat right now, so it's a good way for us to network. And if somebody does have to drop out at the last moment, then it makes it a whole lot easier for us to get someone else who would be able to sub in without it being a huge deal. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Nipples.
How's it going?
Thanks for joining the post show for the show you were just on. I don't know if you heard I was saying that I thought, I think the more people do the shows, the better they'll get. Everyone's just sort of feeling their way in the first bits, but yeah, I think the more episodes people do, it'll become smoother.
I mean, I know that talking live is tough for some people, including myself. And you
Yeah,
try
we can
not
tell.
to.
I just
Yeah,
heard
you
it.
try not to yourself to death or or
Speak really slowly.
Yeah. Then I think that there I am going right there.
Okay, you got a nice lightning show going on behind you. That's been entertaining me the whole night. Yeah, so good show. McFuss Daddy, I mean, I like him, but he really hates me. He really is not a Mena fan.
Well, not a lot of people are sometimes. So, you know,
Joe, what's going on?
so
What's going on with
network
the network?
updates. We have, there you go with the So,
Don't
network
worry about it.
updates. We are going to be having some shows post Plymouth, which really looking forward to. I'm sure we're going to have wrap up shows of wrap up shows. Can't wait for all of it. Super excited about going, and Menors wish you were able to join us, but
Actually,
it's
you're
going to be
kind of the
great. Really
network.
exciting.
You're kind of the network's representation there, being my um, basically network wife. Essentially, you'll be going there representing the network.
Yeah,
Yeah, you need to do some negotiations. See if you can, organize people to come on shows, be panelists, do their own shows. Um,
absolutely.
you
Yep, I'll
know,
be there. We're flying in.
Kirk and
Gonna be
Dave might
down
reach
there.
out. Kirk and Dave might need help. Like if Nipples is
Maybe.
not already there annoying Cullinane, maybe they'll lean on you for some assistance. They need a box ticker.
Yeah. So we'll be at all of the events. We're going to. We've got a cornhole team. We've got. We'll be there Friday night. We're going to the Saturday events. So as well as the show, of course, which I'm super stoked about. So all of that coming up, and then we'll be in Boston after that. So whatever is needed, we'll be there.
You're going to
Toby's doing a
Boston
lot.
afterwards.
We
Okay.
are. Yep. We're going up to Boston. So it's
Are you sleeping in the airport like Kristen and Dax, or you got a
you
hotel? What's
know
the plan? You staying with memes?
that is an option. We were considering that. Yeah. For our to celebrate our wedding anniversary, we thought where else better to stay than with memes. If not, we can always text Montante. I'm sure he's got some suggestions. So
Yeah, Fuss is coming here Thursday night.
Fucking
We're gonna
loser.
grab him from the grab him at the airport. Play golf Friday.
He's a
He's got to be.
retard. Southern fucking retard.
He's a great guy.
Great. So you're both going. How excellent.
Yeah, Heather's not going to be there for Bio Dude stuff on Saturday afternoon, but she'll be there for the show and Friday night and stuff. So
Terrific. And so with the network, Joe, it was touched on the Mike and the Minifans. I'm training you up to be a producer of Mike and the Minifans. You just had your first session.
Yes.
How do you feel it went? And I'm a very good instructor, aren't I?
You are an excellent instructor. I was nervous about just all the little details and making sure that things are timed correctly and how to get the comments. But actually, I think it's going to go pretty smoothly. I hope. Going forward.
Well, I think you're going to do great. StreamYard's really easy, and that'll mean I can get on to doing Manners Live and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely looking forward to that and being able to have some more flexibility. And when we do shows, that way, if we've got guests that have more limited timing, we'll be able to get them on, and then also not overlap with other shows if where possible.
I mean, a CEO shouldn't really be doing this kind of menial tasks. I mean, I should be focusing on the big picture, looking at areas of growth, recruitment.
Right.
So I think I've got to learn to delegate. I think part of my problem is I take on too much.
So I'm hoping this frees you up to do Manners Live, as well as us getting more shows onto the network. I think will be great. I think we've got a solid group right now of what we've got, but would absolutely be wonderful to have more variety, have more people involved.
Good. Well, that's exciting. And yeah, we'll do some reaction shows from Plymouth. I might try and host some live on the network on the Sunday and Monday night. So if you want to come on the network and talk about the live show, message me, because we'll do a kind of Minifan mash style where we can get lots of different opinions on Plymouth. I think that'd be fun. I'm sure there'll be stuff to talk about. Hopefully there'll be no like sexual assault incidences at this live show, more like lighter moments to talk about, but you never know. I mean, you never know.
You never know.
And
hopefully there won't be any wiggly bacon involved. Well, I hope not.
No, he's definitely not. It could be someone else. I mean, you never know. So, Nipples, what were you saying on the main show? How did I throw you on? Sorry, on the Mike and the Minifans. How did I throw you under the bus?
Well, it was on the AMA. Pre the return of the network, thanks to you, which as I said, Sneakers pumped it. You took the reins and ran with it.
Didn't really have a choice.
Yeah, well, there was nothing other than the main show, right? We just had the main show and maybe a Steve.
Minifandom
Minifandom. You know me, I'm a Minifandom guy, day one Minifandom guy. It was I just proposed the question. I was like, Kirk and Dave talk, oh man, how much work we're doing. It seemed to me that it was lined up for Kirk to be able to take like 3 weeks off at the end of the summer. His kids are getting ready back to go to school. They've been working 24 hours a day almost on this thing. And then he's going to go ahead and take, rightfully so, time off. And it's like, man, what are we going to do? People are going to, start re-listening to shows or stuff like that. There was nothing, I would say the horizon was bleak. However, my question was, is there a chance that Kirk's going to take time off after the live show? And you say, oh, well, you must mean, you said, oh, Nipples, you must mean going to McLean or whatever. And then the next day I get, and the only reason why I'll say this is because Kirk did say it. He sent me a note and he was like, haha, very funny about that. And since that day, he has murdered me at any chance he gets. And then he came on your show and you just jumped right back again. And you're like, yeah, he was, fuck that guy. And it's like, oh man, I didn't, but now the network's up and running.
I think you said it though. I really think you said it. I
No,
mean, I think you specifically said it.
mm-mm.
I mean, if we went back through the audio, I think you dug your own grave. I think maybe you didn't express it clearly, and that was the problem.
Yeah, that could be it. But it was definitely more like, if Kirk takes the 3 weeks off before the beginning of school, from the show to the beginning of school, like, man, what are we gonna do? But now we've got 4 solid shows on
Mm.
the network, possibly Menors Live. The elusive "Where Are They Now" thing.
Well, John
How
from Scranton's taken that over, so hopefully
Oh, okay.
we'll get
And the
that soon.
fact that MHB is there has resurfaced is awesome. I
I
mean,
don't think it's to do with the network, but it is nice. I mean, I had some advice this week. I met a Minifan in Sydney, which I'll get into. A great Minifan. The Black Ombudsman caller was visiting Sydney, so although I can't be in Plymouth, we did have a Minifan catch up. And when we met for dinner, and he came with a full agenda of items he wanted to tick off. He's a massive Minifan and Minifan, and one of the things we discussed was, post Plymouth, I think it's time for the main show to start getting their little minions. Like, I think Shane, as the intern, should be doing more for the network. He could be cutting clips. He could be learning to produce shows. And I think it's time for Cullinane, especially, to start to sort of support the network just a little bit more. He's been very good now, and they've got their hands full with Plymouth. But I think, as you say, Kirk's taking, a month or two off and going into rehab or whatever you said. And so when he's back, so there's plenty of time for them to save it and to come and help the network.
Yeah, do you think that Cullinane's going to bring back the hits, or are we gonna? No,
that would be great. Once a week,
awesome.
As a little pre-show pump up, like if they go live at, they're going live at 9:30. He should do it from like 9 to 9:30 as like a warm up so you just roll straight into the main show.
I tell you,
Major Kirk in a bad mood, that might not work. Like, you pump everyone up, and then Kirk just comes in one of his down days. Nipples? One of his down days. You know all about them.
No, the thing about the hits was I would for me personally, I would get out of the gym, I would get ready, I'd get in my office about 5:30, turn on the hits, and nobody was in my office, and it rolled for about an hour. It rolled from like 5:30 to 6:06 when they actually started till about 6:30, 6:36, and it was it's high energy. It was super interactive for the groups that were the people that were in there. It was fantastic, and Mrs. Nipples always says she loved it because it got her ready to go. So, but
what for you?
I don't think he's going to do. No, I was at work every day. And
okay.
She was heading to school. She'd do that before she headed off to school. So
nice. So Joe, how are you going with Kirk? He's obviously a big fan of yours already.
Huge fan. Yeah.
How are you handling that?
You've got to have a thick skin if you're going to be out there, if your name's going to be out there, and if you can't handle it, then you just got to get out. So, but I believe in the network, and
you believe in the network. That is great.
I do, in the shows and supporting that. So if sometimes I get a little bit of road rash, getting pulled behind you once in a while, that's just what's got to happen, I guess. So I don't think he hates me, but it's hard to tell.
No, he doesn't hate you because I think he knows you're really nice. And I think he remembers meeting you. So
I think so.
Yeah.
We had some good interaction, and we actually saw him outside of the show a couple of times, which we didn't speak to him unless he came up and talked to us, which he did. So we did have some good interaction during then, which I'm pretty sure that he remembers because he's brought up little tidbits here and there where it's like, okay, yeah, you do remember.
And do you want to categorically put it on the record that you and your partner aren't the swingers?
I believe that I have. I believe I have a few times. We are not the swingers. So if that's what you're looking for in Plymouth, we're not the ones. Sorry.
No. No, if you
Sorry to
need someone
disappoint.
to be a great personal assistant for the network, Joe's your woman.
I'm there. I'm there for that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So don't your partner's a Minifan. How does he
Yes.
go
Yeah.
when you
Yeah.
essentially get called a Nazi and Ava Braun, like my henchwoman?
You know, sometimes when it just, I guess it depends on how it's said, because sometimes it's just funny. And when it's funny, he laughs. But once in a while, it's just kind of like, okay, you didn't actually do anything. Why is it so many times? But you know, he knows how it goes, so
Yeah,
he's all
good,
right. He's all right.
good.
He's
Well,
supportive.
you're doing a great job keeping it together. You're doing a fantastic job, and there's been some challenges. It's been a rocky
Oh yeah,
ride. Obviously, the 420 guys made a lot of trouble on the network early. A couple of troublemakers there, but I think, I think we've smoothed that out. I want the best for the network. So, the 420 guys keep submitting their shows. They'll
yeah.
go up on the network. Fully support them on the network. We don't have to be friends with everybody. I don't have to be friends with everyone. Um, I think Quantum and I mean, I think Danny and Dave are. I underestimated how sensitive they'd be about a terrible, like a non-idea. Like talking about old shows is not original. I mean, the fact that I call them Quantum Kirk, that's that's not even original. So, I'm surprised how sensitive they were about it, and it's taught me a lesson that although I think of the team and everyone working together, I still have to accept people have very large egos, and maybe I should have massaged their
Right.
massive egos a little bit more before trying to expand.
Maybe once in a
I'm a
while,
visionary.
maybe
Go
once in a
on.
while, just before you tweet out things that are going to be posted in the middle of the night when everybody out here anyway is
Mm,
sleeping, maybe just send them to me and I'll just review those for you, let you know if we could maybe reword some things, maybe there's a
yeah.
little bit
I think I
gentler
need.
way to do
I think you'll
things.
need. Yeah, I need your counsel because I'm a passionate guy. I'm a reactionary guy,
You're a
and
fiery guy.
yeah, and this network means a lot to me.
Feisty.
So I'm putting everything into it. So I still think the idea has merit. I'm not going to go over it again, but I just think, as I said, I should have massaged their egos a little more. But the positive is it was like a make a wish dream situation. Those two fat lumps who would never have been asked into the show were invited in on Monday because of my tweet. So,
And they did
um,
great. They did great
and
on the show.
I love both of them. I've been to
Yeah.
David's house, and his mum's house or whatever, and I've been to, had lunch with Danny, and they are great guys. And Danny is completely under the thumb. Like, that's why I'm worried about Quantum Kirk because, he had to beg her to come and meet me for lunch when I was in Boston last year. I don't know if you saw sorry, you didn't see the next Quantum Kirk is recorded. I think like Danny had to rent a house somewhere to record Quantum Kirk away from his house with two kids. So yeah, hopefully he can do more. Um,
One of the things that I'm not sure which, if it was Fuss or Coach, one of the things they said was um, about, if it can't be Dave and Danny, at least one of them for for
why?
another episode.
Why? I just said, why if, me and two Steve haters wanted to get together and listen to the episode where Kirk bashes Steve, why isn't that all
That's
right?
a personal favorite.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I brought it up.
Yeah, I mean,
Anyway, I don't want to go over it. I think, I think we're going to get to this place. I've been sort of, talking privately with them about this, and I think they're more amenable. I have to say, the next Quantum Kirk is great. It comes out this Sunday night. It's a fantastic episode. It's got a lot in it. It's the one where Blind Mike cries about his grandmother getting sick. So it's a 3-hour episode, and there's so much in it. And Quantum Kirk is 1 hour, and I think so. It's airing this Sunday night at 8 p.m. Great episode. Danny and David did a terrific job, and as I said, I think Danny had to like rent a house. David had to get up at you know 9 or 8 or 9 a.m. and because he's in hospitality, I don't think he does that very often. So, you know, props to them that they made it happen. Poppy's Kitchen got delayed a week, as Sneakers said, unlike most of you losers, he has a job, and so stuff came up, and he couldn't record this week. So that will be happening next week. Yeah, and so
I
and then
believe
Dave.
there is going to be a show though before pre-Plymouth. They are
Yeah.
going to have a Plymouth Kitchen before then.
And David tweeted out, why don't I franchise Poppy's Kitchen out, because they said they were taking a week off. I mean, it's a little bit different. It's literally called Poppy's Kitchen, and Poppy's the host. So it would be a little harder to franchise that idea out. But you could do it. I mean, if people are interested in doing, another version of Poppy's Kitchen, I'll have to talk to Poppy and Sneakers and see if they're, up for the idea. But I don't think it has as much transferability as just talking about old shows.
Right.
So what else is happening on the network? As John from Scranton is unfortunate. I mean, he's stood up for Where Are They Now? He's trying to get guests for that. And I don't think it has to be people that have completely disappeared. I think it can just be people we haven't heard from in a while.
I'm trying to think of who.
Well, DEC would be good.
Remember
MHB?
Tara?
Yeah, absolutely. Wasn't that
She was a Minnie
Tara?
lady.
She was the one. Didn't they?
She was one of the original Minnie ladies.
Yeah, but didn't they propose, or they were engaged? She was engaged
at Madawaska 1, I think.
Yeah.
We ran into her at Kevin from Bristol's store, and literally never saw her again. Like sailed off into the night after that. I think she finished like her school. I think she was like, if I'm correct, she was finishing school in the healthcare industry and finished, and maybe that happened. There was a Blind Mike's groupie.
Yes, absolutely. She's disappeared.
That was a hard disappear, because she was doing with the Minnie ladies. She was doing that dating show.
Yeah.
Went on a couple dates and then dropped off the face of the earth, just gone.
How bad were those dates must have been for her to, go on one or two dates with a Minifan and then just disappear from the internet forever? Exactly. Probably took her own life after it.
Well, you wonder, she did that wet T-shirt thing, and then, it wasn't too soon after that she, so she might have made a decision that could have. You should drink coffee. Maybe that
have you ever done cocaine or something? That's what you need before a show.
No.
You speak so slowly, just like,
What about the best Patriot sports writer in the business, William Benditson?
He wasn't around for that long, but yes, even Matt from Providence, the guy who said, we invented the joke, that would be good. There's so many great Minifans, and I said, if you could just do once a month, that'd be fun. So hopefully John does it. Nibs, just give me an over or under. How many times have you messaged Alba in the last hour and a half? Is it over 4, 5 times?
No, I have not. Nope, none today.
How's she doing?
I think they're doing fine. They went to Maine. No, they went to Vermont.
Yeah.
So
they're enjoying the no people.
Yeah, exactly. There's nobody there.
I had a so Black Ombudsman came to Sydney for work.
That's
and we
great.
Caught up. We went out for dinner. Then I took him to a local pub, and then we caught up the next day for a coffee. Terrific guy. So I can confirm there's at least 2 African American listeners to the show, Mike Cologne and the Black Ombudsman. They're different people, and great Minifan. We had a lot of deep discussions about the network, the show. We spoke about, the frustrations of Cullinane, it was very therapeutic to catch up with a Minifan in person and just get it all out. I mean, obviously it's only it doesn't happen to me like it happens, I guess, to you, Nips. You see Minifans quite often.
I mean, enough, Yeah. Like I said, I run over to my niece and nephew have a 2-year-old daughter, so I run over to Kevin's store, occasionally.
Right. Joe, should we do? I'm just going to cut you off because
No.
it's too slow getting to the point. Joe, do you have any sort of buzz marketing ideas for? I just thought about it, like you're going to be in Plymouth. You're the second in charge of the network. Any buzz marketing ideas? Like this could be a real. We should be handing out stickers. We should have like barcodes up on the wall.
I did
QR
think about
codes so
that.
people could subscribe to the network.
That would be good. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we've got time to print some cards.
Yeah.
At least. If not stickers, something like
anyone that hosts a show who's there should be promoting them. I don't know who's going. So I think Dave is going. So I mean, he should be walking around, talking to people about Quantum.
Oh, I'm sure he will be. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. No, I think we're going to get a lot of promotion.
Yeah. Yeah, but just
I'm
some
sure
buzz marketing ideas.
Yeah.
Go live beforehand. Like I think Rob and Tim went live before Plymouth. I mean, if there's anyone out there who wants to
who's doing it, but I think there is going to be somebody going live. Before.
Well, they should be talking to me about
the red carpet. Doing the red.
Why hasn't Kirk and Carl come to me about this? I mean, I do run the network. It would be disrespectful.
Hey, I have a thought about the beginning of the show.
Okay, spit it out quickly.
I'm going to. I think that Kirk is going to come down on wires from the ceiling.
Okay.
From the eaves.
Didn't Montante tell you that?
No, he didn't actually. But I've been thinking about it. Kirk has thrown little Easter eggs or little hints, not Easter eggs, little hints every once in a while. And I think because he was talking at one point of, he said to Dave, like, who would we be able to get? Who would be strong enough for that or something? Something like that during one of the shows. I was like, oh, he's going to come down from the rafters.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. It's going to be some huge entrance. I mean, what else?
He has to do something. He set the bar very high. Going to cost him thousands, though, not having credit cards. All right, we'll go to the comments. We're going to wrap this up pretty soon. I thought good week of shows, though. I thought Danny and Dave's show was absolutely fantastic. And that was a very funny show. Kirk seemed in a really good mood with them. Like, they're nice guys, and I think he enjoyed that. And their little fist bump was very, very cute. And then, like, the Riggs Kirk shows to end this week have kind of been like reaction shows to the Corn Ferry tour, which has been fine. But I thought the first show this week was amazing. All right, what did you guys think of this week of shows before we get into the comments? Joe, go the axe. Swing that axe.
I thought.
I
thought it was pretty good, but it's been fairly. I mean, it's been slower just because they're busy with golf. So it's just been super golf heavy, but it's been good.
Stick with that, yeah. It's been very good.
It's been good.
I watched the Corn Ferry this morning, a bit of it, and the coverage was excellent. I mean, they are having a great time.
They definitely made golf more entertaining than golf can be. I think watching golf in person is a lot more interesting, especially if you're following a player or something like that. But sometimes if you're watching an entire tournament live, it can get a bit nap worthy. But they're keeping it going. I think it was a great move of them to move Kirk from being out in the field doing those interviews to moving him to the booth. I think was a really good call.
Yeah, that was definitely a smart by whoever at Barstool decided to do that. So.
Yeah,
I loved how Kirk was just causing trouble. Like he just because maybe he turns it down a bit in that situation. I mean, it is. Different to his show, but his natural instinct was to stir the pot and be an antagonist, and it worked. I mean, it was terrific. He's a genius, the greatest broadcaster in American history. All right, I've got to wrap this up because I've got to go. But thanks both for joining the Mike and the Minifans post show. It's good to just reflect on the network. But these questions, Manners, did you see Oppenheimer? No, I haven't. I might see Barbie later. You did, Joe?
Oh, I did. It was excellent. It was
give it a letter grade.
Good.
Letter grade.
I would give it an A.
Okay.
Solid A. A to A plus. So
wow.
Well, I would give it a 98.
Nips, have you seen it?
Nah, I'm not a big movie person. I
think you nodded and said no.
No, I'm not. No.
No. Phil McCooch, manners, you can't say the R word, you're not Kirk. I think I can. I think he says it on the show enough that it's permitted. I've been told which words aren't permitted. Manners do, what are you watching? So if you listen to the latest Minifandom with the rat from Scranton, I did a what are you watching at the end there. It hasn't really changed. Ted Sarandis, BA needs better panelists. Well, I think we spoke about this. Like, you know, I think everyone will get better. Maybe not Nips, but we'll get there. Ted Sarandis. Now, this is true. The OG Minifans have not delivered for the new network. And I have to say, there's been a little bit of ego come into play here. Like, these, OG Minifans expect me to go, and invite them personally onto Mike and the Minifans. Like they're too good to join the groups, or they're, Ned Snark, Tim Ridgels. They all, say they want to be part of the network, but, they want special treatment, which I don't think the network's about that. Mincel, OG Minifan, you got to pitch in. What are your thoughts, Joe, as the fellow head?
Well, I mean, not being obviously one of the OGs, it's hard for me to speak for them, but absolutely would love to see them step up and maybe have a show, at least be on maybe some of the shows would be really good. I'm sure everyone would like to hear it. We would help increase our viewership, which is always a good thing. So hopefully soon, maybe networking in Plymouth is going to help with that.
Yes,
I'm certainly
the buzz
hoping.
Marketing. We need to think about this. A
Yes.
little bit of a buzz marketing campaign, take over the live show.
So definitely going to be working on that in Plymouth.
Next question. Would Steve Robinson jump on a show? This is from Rico Petrucelli. Look, as you can imagine, the relationship between myself and Steve isn't that close. I don't know why. It's weird. I mean, I only sort of hated him solidly for 2 years and tried to get him fired, tried to get him removed, and then danced on his grave when he left. So it's odd that we wouldn't be close. But yeah, I would love him on the network. He's certainly welcome. Love to see him on Mike and the Minifans, or the Robinson Report, or reprise of that. Maybe it'd be good for the main wire. There is 7,000 subscribers to the network, and it's growing every day because of the premium content we're providing. So it might be a spot for the main wire here. A bit of something different.
Cooking with Big Steve again.
Exactly. Joe, you should do a cooking show. Are you a good cook?
I've just got a new grill, so a lot of my time's been spent doing that. Not
big green egg.
I did. It's a large big green egg, and I did brisket on it this last weekend. So, been really enjoying doing that, and been doing some baking on there as well. Anything that doesn't heat up my kitchen. So
brilliant.
Floppy bacon.
No floppy bacon. No, I don't do wiggly bacon either. It's gotta be crisp.
I'll tell you. Did you see the pictures from Toby's for Saturday? It looks like he did a ton of work.
Oh, must have done so much work because that looks clean. We're ready to go.
What are you talking about?
For Bio Dude.
He's doing what?
For the cornhole tournament. Yeah.
On Saturday.
He's hosting it at his place.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So is he near Plymouth? Is he?
He's in Plymouth, but I think he's in southern Plymouth. So the town of Plymouth, I think it might be a city, but is huge, like mileage wise. It's one of the bigger towns in the entire state, and I think that he's in the town and he's like 30 minutes from downtown. He said depending on traffic, obviously, but it's not near downtown at all. Okay. From what he said.
Bio Dude's place.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, catching Ubers around. I mean, it sounds like it'll be worth it to get to his grill. All righty. Well, that's it for the wrap-up show. Tomorrow night, 8 p.m., Quantum Kirk episode 3. Get ready for it by going and listening to that episode. Dave has tweeted out the link to the episode they're reviewing, so just go on his Twitter. Joe, the Axe Sanders, you were doing a great job. You were a great team. Nips, thanks for coming on both shows tonight. Great to catch up.
The weird thing is Mrs. Nips didn't even know I was on tonight, so it was a good thing. She walked by at one point and she was like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like,
Sounds like you have a very close relationship. Thanks, everybody.